The cafe on the corner of Riverside Boulevard was the kind of place most people walked past without noticing, small, clean, and faintly tired, like it had seen better decades. That morning, it was unusually full. At a table near the window sat a woman who seemed entirely out of place. Her clothes were elegant but understated, the kind that whispered wealth rather than shouted it. A gold watch glinted softly on her wrist as she stirred her coffee, and beside her sat a young boy of about 7, swinging his legs beneath the chair. A pristine plate of food rested between them, avocado toast, fruit arranged like artwork, and a small bowl of soup steaming gently. Across the room, a man froze mid-step. He was holding a paper cup of water, his knuckles white around it. His jacket was frayed at the cuffs, his boots scuffed thin. A backpack hung from one shoulder, and standing close to his leg was a little girl clutching a worn stuffed rabbit. The man stared at the woman's table. Then, suddenly, his voice cut through the cafe like a blade. "Don't eat that food." Every head turned. The woman jolted in her seat. Her son recoiled, eyes wide. Conversations died mid-sentence. A barista dropped a spoon. The man took a step forward, panic etched across his face. "Please," he said, louder now. "Don't let him eat it." Security moved instantly, stepping between the man and the table. "Sir, you need to calm down," one guard warned. The woman stood, anger flashing in her eyes. "Excuse me," she said sharply. "Do you have any idea how inappropriate this is?" The man shook his head desperately. "I know how this sounds. I know, but you don't understand. That food, it's not safe." A murmur rippled through the room. The woman scoffed. "This is a public place. I ordered this myself." Her son tugged at her sleeve. "Mom." The man's gaze softened when he looked at the boy. "Please," he said again, voice breaking. "Just trust me. Just for a minute." The guard tightened his grip. "Sir, step back or we'll escort you out." The little girl with the stuffed rabbit began to cry quietly. That's when the man spoke again, slower now, steadier. "3 weeks ago," he said, "my wife died." The room stilled, not silent, but attentive. "She collapsed after lunch. Same cafe, same soup." He pointed shakily at the bowl on the woman's table. "They said it was an allergic reaction. But she wasn't allergic to anything." The woman's expression flickered. "I didn't believe it either," the man continued. "Then 2 days later, my neighbor, healthy, young, ended up in the hospital after eating here. Same symptoms, difficulty breathing, numbness." The barista behind the counter went pale. "I tried to report it," the man said. "Health department, police, nobody listened, no proof, just a poor guy making noise." The security guard hesitated. The woman crossed her arms. "That still doesn't give you the right to scream at my child." "I know," the man said quickly. "I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. He swallowed. "I couldn't watch another kid lose their mother." Silence pressed down like weight. The woman looked at the soup. Then she laughed, sharp and brittle. "This is ridiculous." She reached for the spoon. "Wait," a new voice said. An older man stood from a nearby table. He wore a simple coat, but his posture carried authority. "I'm a retired physician," he said. "What symptoms did they have?" The man answered instantly, like he'd rehearsed this 100 times. "Tight chest, tingling in the fingers, rapid swelling." The doctor's jaw tightened. "That's not a typical food allergy." The woman hesitated. The doctor turned to the barista. "What's in the soup?" The barista stammered. "Mushroom bisque. Same recipe we've used for years." "Mushrooms," the doctor repeated. "Where are they sourced?" The barista looked helplessly toward the kitchen. The woman slowly set the spoon down. "Mom," her son whispered. The manager emerged, flustered, and after a tense exchange, agreed, reluctantly, to remove the soup for testing. The woman's meal was comped. The man was allowed to sit, shaking, as his daughter curled into his side. 2 days later, the story exploded. Local news confirmed it. A supplier had unknowingly distributed a batch of wild mushrooms contaminated with a rare neurotoxin. Not enough to affect everyone. Just enough to kill a few. The cafe was shut down immediately. The woman returned the following week. This time, she wasn't alone. She found the man sitting on a bench outside the cafe, feeding his daughter a sandwich. He looked surprised when she approached. "I owe you an apology," she said. He stood awkwardly. "I scared your son." "You saved him," she replied. She took a breath. "I'm a venture partner at a biotech firm. We fund investigations like this. If I'd listened sooner, maybe." She stopped herself. "I can't change that, but I can help you." He didn't answer. "I heard about your wife," she added gently. And about the reports you filed. You were right, no one listened. She held out a card. Let me help with legal fees. And, I have a friend who runs a foundation for single parents. The man looked at the card, then at his daughter. For the first time, his eyes filled, not with fear, but with relief. Thank you, he said quietly. Across the street, the cafe windows reflected the afternoon sun, empty and silent. And for once, the man knew his voice, raised in desperation, ignored by many, had finally been heard.